Hello guys, welcome to another exciting day. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to YJ Digital World. I remain your host Agu Joseph. So guys, on today's tutorial video I'll be sharing some Photoshop tips and tricks that can come in handy whenever you're designing a project. Okay, so if this sounds like what you're actually interested in and you're new to the channel, do well to smash the subscribe button. Turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content on my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you guys for always watching. So the first tip has to do with maximizing and optimizing your Photoshop to work effectively on your PC. So in order for you to do this, all you have to do is to slide over to edit and scroll down this way to where you have preferences and all the way to performance. Okay, so over here we have the preference panel. Okay, and over here we have performance selected, and over here we have the memory usage. Okay, so one of the ways you can actually optimize and maximize the amount of RAM on your system to work perfectly well for your Photoshop is by you giving Photoshop about 70% of the available memory. Okay, over here we have over 2.1 gig of memory available for this system precisely. So the total memory for this PC is 4 gig RAM. So available RAM for usage is about 2.1 gig precisely. So it is expected of you to give Photoshop about 70% so that it can work perfectly well for your system. Please take note, don't give Photoshop 100%. You can give it 70% at most is good enough for this. Okay, and this, you notice that your Photoshop will work perfectly well. Depends on the kind of tasks you're actually carrying on your Photoshop. After you're done with that, you click on the OK button. Okay, so for this maximization or optimization to take effect on your PC, you have to close the Photoshop and open it so that the changes can be effected, okay, on the Photoshop. Tip number 2 has to do with scaling up the background so that it can fill up the canvas, okay, of your design project. So how do you do this? First thing first, you come over here where you have the layer, right click and rasterize the layer. After you're done with that, pick any of your marquee tool precisely, be it this. Okay, I'll be making use of the rectangular precisely for this. So I've selected the rectangular, so I'll come over here and make a selection of this radius like this. So be careful, okay, you make selection of this region like this. I don't want the selection to affect the hair, so I just selected the part of the background. So after making the selection, come over to edit and click on content aware scale precisely. Okay, after you're done with that, hold shift on your keyboard, left click and drag up this way. You see what happens. This fill up your canvas perfectly well. Ctrl D to deselect, Ctrl 0 to fit to screen. You can see how this fits in perfectly well. Please take note that this particular method is not applicable on all images. It all depends on the kind of images you're actually working on. You might try this on a particular kind of image and it might not work perfectly well. So this method is sensitive to some kind of images you're actually working with. Okay, so tip number 3 has to do with creating a clipping mask. So I'll be showing you 2 ways of creating 2 different type of clipping marks precisely. So I'll come over here, select the rectangle tool and create a rectangle of this shape like this. Okay, so after I'm done with that, I'll change the fill to this fill of orange precisely, pick my move tool and adjust this like this. Okay, add a fill of curve to this using your property panel. Please, if you don't have your property panel here, you can enable your property panel from the Windows menu over here. You can enable it for that. So after you're done with that, next you select the model layer, right click and click on clipping marks. Okay, so after I'm done with that, I'll just adjust the position like this. Okay, one of the other ways you can use to apply this particular type of clipping marks is by holding spot on your keyboard in between the two layers, okay, you notice your mouse pointer changes to this, okay, this arrow, your mouse pointer changes to an arrow pointing downward like this. So you click like this and it will enable you to create a clipping marks of this nature. Okay, that's for this. So the second technique of creating a clipping marks has to do with you selecting the model image and dragging it to create a group. Okay, now this model image is now in a group. All I have to do now is to hold Control on the keyboard. My mouse pointer changes to this. You notice this where I have the rectangle. My mouse pointer changes to this. If I hold Control, left click to make a quick selection of the rectangle, come over here where I have the group and click on clip on the max layer, rather, that is the add vector max. So after I'm done with that, I'll pick my brush, scale up the opacities and flows. Okay, so you scale up the opacity and flows to 100% and make sure your foreground color is set on white. The white enables you to gain back those parts that are hidden, okay, on the black mask layer. Okay, so how can you resize this to fit in perfectly well on your rectangle? You can choose to come over here and hit Ctrl T. Okay, you hold Alt and scale out. You see this is not filling in properly, so this is the best way to do that. You come over here and click on this chain icon to unlink the group from the mark. So you click on this. Okay, you notice the chain icon has disappeared. Select the group layer, not the marks precisely. Select the group layer, hit Ctrl T. You can choose to scale this up like this perfectly well. Okay, you can still choose to scale it up like this and there will be no issues. Okay, so this will fit in perfectly well into the rectangle. It all depends on what you're actually trying to create. Okay, that is in terms of creating a clipping marks. So tip number 4 has to do with removing of the background of this image. Okay, so how do you go about removing the background? First thing first, you double click on this layer. This layer is a locked layer. Okay, so you double click on it to unlock it by clicking this. Okay, you notice the padlock goes away, or drag the padlock to the waste bin. This way you have already unlocked the layer. Okay, if the image was to be a smart object, okay, you want to make it to be a rasterized image, so you right click and click on rasterize. So in order for you to remove the background, all you have to do is to come to your property panel here and scroll down like this, click on remove background, okay, and see what happens. So guys, you see what happened. Okay, this actually came out perfectly well. Okay, so please take note that this technique might not work perfectly well. Depends on the kind of image you are applying this method. Okay, in a situation whereby you are working on an image that has a lot of people on the background, it might not remove the background properly well like it's worked on this particular image. Please take note of that. Okay, so tip number 5 has to do with changing color of an object in Photoshop precisely. So assuming I need to change the color of this shirt, all I have to do is to come over to hues and saturation over here. So I'll slide over to where I have this hand icon here on my screen, left click on this. Okay, your mouse pointer changes to an eyedropper icon like this. So you select a region that does not have more highlights or shadows on them and left click like this to select, okay, regions like this. Okay, you have selected. So I'll come over here, I slide this way, the color changes. Okay, so basically this sliders over here helps me to make adjustments to the colors. Okay, so over here we have these two. Okay, these two sliders, this works on the hues and saturation, this works on the lightness precisely. So for me to apply the colors on this, I have to scale this color in such a way that it won't actually affect the whole project. So I'll adjust it to something like, let me say like this. Okay, you can see the effect is now reflecting on the shades precisely. I think this is okay. While for this, I'll adjust this like this so that it will blend in properly with the shirt precisely. While for this, I noticed that some of the pink or purple rather, the purple are still reflecting on the trousers, so I can still take them out this way by using this. Okay, please take note that these two sliders here enable you to lighten up the colors on the lighted regions of the image, while this helps you to work on the color regions that has to do with the hues and saturation respectively. Okay, so you can come over here and change the color to any color of your choice, and it will work perfectly well without any issues. Okay, so you can still choose to increase the hues. It all depends on what you want. Okay, so there is no harm in this. Okay, that's for the hues and the saturation. Tip number 6 has to do with placing of text behind the model. So how do I go about this? I have to make a duplicate of this image by hitting Ctrl J. Ctrl J enables me to make a duplicate, okay, of this image. Okay, that's for that. So the next thing I have to do is to apply the same technique of removing the background. Come to your property panel, okay, and scroll down. Make sure the new duplicated layer is selected and click on remove background. So the background has been removed successfully. Okay, so if I turn off this other layer here, you notice we have only the model image over here. So in order for you to place the text behind the model now, all you have to do is to click on the background layer here, pick your text tool. So you come over to your Canva over here. So all you have to do is to left click over here and type in your text. Okay, Ctrl T, hold Alt and scale it up. So all you have to do is to hit Ctrl T, hold Alt, scale up like this, and place your text behind the model. Okay, and this will actually work perfectly well. Okay, so you can choose to place your text at any particular part you want, okay, behind the model. Okay, please note that the text layer should be in between the two layers, okay, for this to work perfectly well. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's tutorial video. If you find this tutorial video helpful, do well to smash the like button, do well to give this video a like. So if you are new to the channel and you are yet to subscribe, do well to smash the subscribe button, do well to smash the subscribe button. Turn on the post notification bell to get notification whenever I upload new content, okay? And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching, okay? Please, if you are yet to join the Telegram group, do well to join the Telegram group. The link is in the pinned comment below. Okay, if you have any questions, any comments, you can leave your questions and comment in the comment section. Okay, and please don't forget to share this content with other designers, other creatives around you. Thank you guys for watching.